Primary takeaway is we need to maximize synergies and we need to break out of silos. There's no question about that. That being among the three conventions, but also overall sectorial differences on the ground from the perspective of conservation, agriculture, urban needs, et cetera. So that's the primary take-home message. But the second one was that there are opportunities. There are both from the perspective of concepts and frameworks that we can pursue to get through those synergies, from the perspective of tools like the coming and being developed Rio Convention's project preparation facility, and then there's practical tools like the technology tools that were presented by some of the people in the session, all of which can bring us to where we can link data, systems, policies, and most important, people on the ground to break those silos and maximize synergies. So from the perspective of our convention, when we look at this problem, we do it from the perspective of land degradation neutrality. So we're talking about a no net loss approach to addressing a global problem that is manifest quite differently locally in every location. And a no net loss approach says, okay, we know we're going to have new degradation, but in net terms, can we make sure we don't get worse? Well, that changes the whole equation. That forces us to think about all land simultaneously and to optimize our interventions across the landscape, not only for how they address land degradation, but also how can we navigate the inevitable trade-offs, right? We're going to have economic demands, we're going to have environmental needs, we're going to have agriculture, food-oriented needs, and these represent trade-offs that if we think holistically, we can at least optimize where is the best place for that restoration initiative relative to where we're going to grow food, relative to where we're going to have urban growth. Can we do this in a way where we maximize the best opportunities for each parcel of land? And I think that's the key to where we want to go moving forward. If we can look at the contributions, the pursuit that countries decide to make to address climate change and encourage initiatives that are focused on land, because land is a big contributor to climate change when we lose the soil, when we lose the vegetation, but it's also a place where we can sequester carbon and we can manage climate change. It has both possibilities. It puts it in an excellent position to be open for the kinds of things I described before. If we want to address biodiversity concerns, if we want to look at food security and the well-being of people, we can put these things in balance if we encourage those NDCs to emphasize the land component and to do it in a multiple benefits type way, the way we've been talking about. 27 countries have already embraced that idea in terms of their NDCs. That leaves a lot open. If we can get some good examples from those that have taken this pursuit in a very serious way, I think other countries would jump on board, because everyone has land and everyone is faced by these issues. It's not unique to those 27 countries. I would like to add that I was very encouraged in the session that we were just in by the more systems approach that the GEF has adopted, by focusing on impact areas that integrate, for example, food, restoration, et cetera, into a common pool. It puts countries in the position to respond to those needs in an integrated way. I think that's very powerful, and I think that model should be replicated beyond the GEF. I think it's a step in the right direction.